a major Julius Randle contract extension update from Bobby Marks, and also Jalen Brunson has finally spoken out on taking the massive pay cut, and we're going to break this all down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. It's good to be back, guys. How we doing? Let's talk about some Julius Randle. First things first. As we all know, the other day, Julius Randle became eligible for a contract extension to where he can sign with the New York Knicks and then not be an unrestricted free agent this summer. He can sign a massive deal with the team, up to 4 more years with the New York Knicks. It would be for a ton of money. Probably somewhere around $42-43 million per year if he were to sign a max contract extension. But Bobby Marks seems to think that that is not going to happen, that the Knicks are not going to offer Randle a contract extension. There's been a lot of noise that Julius probably is not going to sign a contract extension anytime soon. And the main reason for that is so the Knicks can have more financial flexibility. Julius understands what it's like to play for a winning team. He wants the New York Knicks to win, and he knows that if he signs an extension now, it will hurt the way that the New York Knicks have to move in the near future. And he wants to give him as much flexibility as possible to make this team as good as possible. Julius is absolutely a team player. He's taken a pay cut before with the Knicks, and it feels like he probably will take some sort of pay cut again. But it's also on top of the fact that Julius has not been fully healthy, entirely missing last year's playoffs. But for the last 2 playoffs, he has not been fully healthy, and it's prevented the Knicks from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years in a row. I don't think that Leon Rose is going to offer Julius a max contract extension, because even if both of those were freak injuries, which they both seemed like, at the same time, it's enough of an argument to prevent Julius from signing that extension for max money. And when you look at Julius, I don't know how many teams are going to be offering him a max contract in 2025 free agency. Bobby Marks spoke on this and kind of broke it all down, so let's jump into looking at that. Because he mentioned, if Leon Rose says, hey, we're going to have you decline your option, your player option, and then offer you a 3-year, $100 million contract extension, I would seriously consider taking that. $100 million guaranteed. I think he's priced right now at 30, meaning $30 million per year. Essentially, Bobby Marks thinks that Julius is a $30 million per year player. He could get 33 per year. It might be in a increasing value, or probably be front loaded so the Knicks can get more money paid out sooner rather than later. Julius is a player option at the end of this season. He can opt in and then boom, another year, no worry. Or he can opt out of it. Now, if they're like, no, opt out of that, go into this. This will be the final year of your contract. Then after this, you are going to be getting an average of $33 million per year. Now, I'd guess that it would be like you're getting 36 this year, 33 next year, and then like in the 20s the following year. Give him a front-loaded contract. Leon Rose loves to give those, and he knows that the Knicks are just going to have to pay more contract extensions in the future, so it makes more sense to give Julius as much money as possible now so you don't have to worry about it in the future. Now, it's unclear when the New York Knicks and Julius plan on hammering this extension out. It seems like it's not like the first thing in mind for either of these teams right now. They're all just focused on their own thing. The Knicks need to go out and get a center. But Scott Perry did talk about it and say that last Saturday Julius became extension eligible, and the Knicks should offer him extension for a few reasons, such as the fact that he's great with this current roster, accustomed to playing in New York City, and he will be motivated as ever with unfinished business with this organization. Now, Scott Perry obviously worked with Leon Rose and Julius Randle. He was a big part in signing Julius Randle. So when you look at Scott Perry, you know that he does know some stuff. He speaks on the Knicks a lot, obviously, being a former GM for them. And also, Ian Begley mentioned that Randle extension remains not at the forefront for both sides, both the Knicks and Julius Randle. So when you look at it, yeah, the Knicks aren't in a rush to re-sign Julius. I fully believe the Knicks have no expectations of Julius Randle going anywhere. They don't seem like they're intending on trading him at all. Fred Katz has said multiple times the Knicks have had no indication of having any interest in trading Julius whatsoever. And also, with the fact that Julius fits perfectly with this team, why would you move him? The big question is, what is the price that he is going to be paid? And the Knicks seemingly are going to wait this out, wait till they can find their backup center, and then they're probably going to focus more on Julius. We know that when Precious Achiuwa signed that contract extension and waived his no-trade clause, it was an indication that he knows he's going to get traded over this season for a guy who's more of a true center. Now, when that happens, the Knicks will then not have to worry about their backup center position as much anymore and probably will move into finding a way to extend Julius Randle and finding a price that works for everyone. So I'm really interested to seeing what happens there. But we also have something else to talk about, and that is the fact that Jalen Brunson, as we all know, was named captain of the New York Knicks, and in the process, he had a big event at MSG yesterday, and there was a big press conference. He made the joke about when the Knicks were giving him some check or something. He asked if it was for $113 million. Brunson's well aware of the massive pay cut he took. As Woj called it, it was an unprecedented move. No one has ever seen anything like this happen before. It's one of the reasons why the Knicks named JB captain is the fact that this is unbelievable, the fact that he would have taken this pay cut. We've obviously talked about this a lot. We don't need to rehash something that everyone knows about. But long story short, JB took that massive pay cut, and it's been awesome for the New York Knicks. Now, Brunson spoke out about it for the first time, saying, I wanted to be here for the rest of my career. Winning trumps everything that I do individually. I am completely comfortable with what I've done. I'm well off, myself and my family. I want to win, and I want to win here. Now, that continues in saying, I just knew that if I did this, it would give us a lot of flexibility and put us in position to win. I'm comfortable here. This is home for me. I don't worry about what anyone else says. Now, first of all, I love Jalen Brunson so much. Just on a separate note, just like, I love him so much. Like a weird amount. Like, I mentioned Jalen Brunson way too much in my life about, like, everything. Like, it won't have anything to do with Jalen Brunson, and I just will bring him up. Like, he's just the best. But also, when you look at this, we weren't that surprised that it happened. We saw this coming. Fred Katz mentioned Jalen Brunson never was someone to really be that interested, or actually it might have been Ian Begley. I don't want to accidentally quote the wrong one. It was one of Fred Katz or Ian Begley. One of the most tapped-in New York Knicks beat writers mentioned the fact that Brunson didn't care about being a max money player. He didn't care about being the highest paid player in the NBA. That didn't matter to him. And as Brunson said, he's well off. His family has money. It's not like Brunson comes from nothing. Like, when you look at some players, yeah, they're going to take as much money as humanly possible because they grew up destitute. Like, for instance, Allen Iverson. That's why he had some financial trouble later in his career. It's because all the money he got, he would spend it all because he grew up in severe poverty. When you look at a guy like LeBron, who's a billionaire and known to be very cheap, he grew up with nothing. He grew up in a single-parent household. He mainly lived with his grandparents. He moved in with his football coach for a little bit. Like, you look at some guys and they grew up with nothing. That is not the case for Jalen Brunson. That's also not the case with Steph Curry. However, like, because both their dads were in the NBA, of course, Steph Curry still is taking max money, so it's not like everyone is just not going to take that money. No, Jalen Brunson is of a very rare breed, and he did it to win. Jalen Brunson not only is saying that winning matters more, he is backing that talk up by taking $113 million off of a contract that he could have signed and made so much money. And I mean, yeah, the contract he signed is still pretty great. Like, it's not like he's not getting paid anything. He's still making insane, life-changing money for his kids, his grandkids, his great-grandkids. Like, he's fine. And also between all the endorsements and stuff, yeah, he's going to make a ton of money. And eventually this contract will run out. He'll get his 10-year NBA veteran contract and get paid so much money that it all will work out in the end. And he'll still get basically the same amount of money as if he took that first contract. But still, doing this to give the Knicks more flexibility shows the culture that Jalen Brunson is leading with this team. This is a Knicks team that just cares about winning more than literally anything else. It's why they're moving homegrown stars such as RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley for a guy like OG who's going to help you win games for your team more than RJ and IQ were based off who fits better, what works in this situation. The Knicks went out there and traded a bunch of draft picks for Mikal Bridges. Yeah, Bridges has never been an all-star, but he was on the Suns before he had to play a role that was not what he should have been playing. He was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting. The Knicks, every move they make is what is going to help this team win. If they made a move for a more flashy player like a Donovan Mitchell instead of Mikal Bridges, yeah, it would have looked fun on paper. It would have been flashy. it also would have been a move that the old Knicks would have made, like when they had Stephon Marbury and then went out there and traded for Steve Francis for some weird reason. No, this is what the difference is between this Knicks team and everyone else. It started at the top with Leon Rose, and it's trickled down into this leader in Jalen Brunson. Everyone is following his lead. This is a winning culture. This is something we have not seen from the New York Knicks since Pat Riley. That is how long it's been. I wasn't alive for when Pat Riley coached the Knicks. That is how long it's been since the Knicks have had a true winning culture. Yeah, in 2013 they were great for that year, but then everything got screwed up because James Dolan was still way too involved with the team. Now he's not. He's off dealing with the Vegas sphere and stuff and just living his best life with JD and the Straight Shot, his band. Like, now we're in this world where Brunson is just leading this team to perfect success and leading them into this culture. I'm trying to see if I can balance them on my head. Yeah, I can't do it. But it's gotten to this point where you know what you're getting out of this culture, and I think the Knicks are going to win a championship in the next few years. Winning teams win. That's just what it is. Are the Miami Heat on paper ever good enough to make the NBA Finals over the last 5 years? No. 2 times they made it, and they lost to LeBron, who is the greatest player in NBA history, and Jokic, the best player in the NBA. Like, the Knicks can go out there, have the deepest team in basketball, have the best defensive wing duo in the league in McHale and OG, have a superstar in Jalen Brunson, who's a top 7 player in the NBA, have an all-NBA player in Julius, have a great defender in Mitchell Robinson, who looked like a Defensive Player of the Year candidate before his injury last season. This is a phenomenal team, and I do think they're going to win a championship behind this man. So, guys, I want to hear what you think about all this. What do you think about the Randle extension? What do you think about JB's comments? Let me know down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks. You got anything to say? No, he's a bobblehead. Bobbleheads actually don't talk, and I'm pretty stupid for thinking he might.